not clapping.
Look in the dirt means you're leaning in your foot and you're almost touching your head on the floor.
Hurricanes! Do we want it to be not dusty? Yes.
Funky.
Look at his hands!
Bump it, spin him out.
It's John Ohio race here with Chris Schneider.
My bad.
Good run. No meat. Steady hand.
Must get the win, must get the win.
Welcome back to the Lickin the Dirt podcast. Today I'm joined by my co-host Jake Whitling, and I'm also joined by two very special guests, none other than Brayden and Ryleigh Booher. Let's give a big round of applause for them coming on tonight. A little bit different guests today out of our normal category. Instead of some dirt track racers, we got some demolition derby and endurance racers here today with us.
Absolutely. You know, I think it's going to be a good episode. I'm excited to experiment with the derby and enduro side of things. I actually would consider myself very, very ignorant to that stuff. So I think this is going to be a good episode. So Chase, why don't you get us started?
All right, I'll kick us right into some. Does anyone have a preference on going first?
Doesn't matter. You can pick one of us.
All right. Well, I got questions for both of you, for some questions that are for both of you. So how about I just start with them?
Okay.
We'll kick it off with, well, the reason we're doing this episode now is because not this Saturday, but next Saturday, you guys are running in a derby at Stoneboro. So how about we kick off by just kind of introduce to everybody what class you're running, what the rules, what the specifications of the class are and everything.
So my first car, I got a Toyota Corolla, and I'm running the bumper swap class where you can put a bumper, you can crease all the quarter panels on it, and it's pretty much a built class for the compacts. And then I also have a Jeep Liberty that I am running in the SUV class, which is pretty much like a stock class. And then Ryleigh has a Buick LeSabre that she's going to be running in the Powder Puff, which is pretty much also like a stock class. And I'll be riding with her.
Hey, man.
Excited about that?
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
Who's going to be doing more of the driving?
Brayden's definitely a backseat driver all the time, so we'll see how it goes.
What's so how many classes are there on Saturday?
Oh no.
Hopefully I didn't lose him. You guys still with us?
I think there's like
Okay.
Back. There's definitely
we gotcha.
Or 7. I know they have lawnmowers and
Lawnmowers
class. There's the Powder Puff, a youth class, stock compacts. I'm not sure what else there is, to be honest with you.
What's the head of all? What's the top class?
Honestly, I'm not sure. It would probably be the full-size class or maybe the bumper swap compacts. I'm not sure.
No, I heard you say lawnmowers. How does that go?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I've never seen lawnmowers derby before, but I think they put like a little roll cage around them and just go.
We need more lawnmower respect and love. I agree. We need a class, I think, actually, for racing too, for lawnmowers.
They do have lawnmower races.
What?
Yeah, I've seen them before. Not in person, but I've seen videos.
I think they should have more lawnmower race.
What happened? Did we lose him?
I think we might have lost him.
We're gonna have to. We're gonna take a breather for a second. Listen, I would not be shocked if I lost power here.
No.
Oh, whoa!
He's back.
But
Oh no.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think we went through all the classes and everything.
Yeah. Then we were talking about lawnmowers.
Yeah.
Chase, do you have any more questions for the both of them?
Oh yeah, I got a bunch of questions for the both.
Just keep rattling those off, then we'll get to
Yeah.
the individual.
Okay. I asked what classes. Ooh, this is a good one. So you guys both have run demo and enduros before. Which one do you prefer? What's your favorite? Which one do you prefer?
Me personally, I definitely prefer derbies. I think they're more fun. But it's close, but I'd probably pick a derby.
I'd pick a derby over an enduro.
Yeah.
How come?
I don't know. An enduro, I feel like we haven't really got enough enduros to be fast enough in them and good enough cars. I mean, I've placed probably 5th and 7th, like right in that range a couple times, but it just can't keep up with everyone else. And I feel like we're starting to get the hang of a derby.
I know I go slow. I'm not that fast, but at least I've finished everyone. But I don't know. I feel like I enjoy derbies more. And I don't know if it's just because I'm more comfortable or what, but at least I finished the enduros.
Fair enough.
I can't do that. I can't do that stuff. I'm too scared to do that stuff. So
Jake said he's gonna run the enduro at the Stampede.
yeah, we're gonna do that this year. We're investing a lump sum to do that.
That is definitely a scary place to run an enduro, I have a feeling.
We are not doing that at all. No way.
I don't blame you. I wouldn't want to do it either.
Another question I had for the both of you was this kind of vague question, but where do you see your careers going? You guys going pro? Either of you guys going pro?
Absolutely not.
No.
We just do it for the fun pretty much. I mean, yeah, I know. I don't even know how many more we're going to be able to do because I'll be starting to work more now that I'm going to be out of school. So I don't know.
I actually have a question unrelated to the derby stuff. This is for you, Brayden. I heard murmurs about a motorhome you owned. Could you give me any details on that?
Yeah, it's a 1982. Did we lose you?
No.
No, we're here. We're here.
Okay. It's a 1982 Chevy motorhome. Yeah. And they're actually pretty rare because most of the ones that you look up and can find have the doors coming in through the back, but this one has the door coming in through the side. And I don't know, we found it on the side of a hill. Some guy told us about it, and we went and looked at it. Then he was like, if you want it, you can have it if you can get it running. Well, Dad got it fired up and took it home, and we cleaned it up. We were going to take it to the Penn State-Ohio State game in Happy Valley, but we ended up having a football playoff game, so we couldn't end up going. But all the boys cleaned it up, and we have it ready, but we haven't really done anything with it.
Well, I took it for a ride.
Yeah, Ryleigh did take it for a ride.
On Halloween, have you ever watched
Christmas Vacation?
Yeah, Christmas Vacation.
Probably not on
Lampoon
Halloween
Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, no.
just before.
What'd you say?
I've watched it on Halloween, but I probably watched it on Christmas before.
Yeah.
Yeah, on Halloween, me, my dad, Crystal, Katie, Cameron, and Reese dressed up as the family, and we all took the camper to the pub in the queue on Halloween. And we won a prize. for our costume. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting seeing them.
And you made it there and back?
Yeah, it felt like you were going 95 down through Sandy Lake. I don't think it went over 15.
That's dedication.
I think it would have made it to Happy Valley if we ended up taking. Now back, I don't know, but
Well, you don't worry about the trip back. You only worry about getting there first.
exactly.
You could have visited me while you were down there. I would
Yeah.
have came up. All right, I'll ask the first one for the individual ones. So, Brayden, this first question's to you. So what do you love most about derbies?
Honestly, I like spending the time in the garage because Keaton always comes over and hangs out, and he helps me all the time. We can just hang out in the garage, just me and him, and have a good time. We like building them, and then it's the good feeling of going out and being able to see what your work does out on the track.
That's definitely a good reason to like it. You know, there's some similarities as far as garage time goes with derby and racing. I mean, no matter what you do, you're gonna be displaying your work on the track. So it's pretty cool that those things go hand in hand. Chase, you got something for Braden?
Yeah, I got a couple questions for Brayden. What made you decide to make the jump? Because, I mean, obviously not everybody watching knows, but you raced go-karts before. What made you make the jump from go-karts and decide to move into more derby?
Well, it's kind of a funny story because we were still racing go-karts when I did my first one, and Papa Terry came one day to the races and was like, hey, I signed Brayden up for the Derby at Stoneboro. You got to build him a car. He said that to my dad, and he was like, you got to build him a car so he can go around the youth class. Well, then we went out to Reese's Automotive and built my car out there because we didn't really have a garage at the time. And we went out, and I think we took third in the first one. Me and Cameron rode together. And then, I don't know, it was just fun. So I wanted to do it again. So I ended up cleaning my grandpa's garage out. It has a lift and 3 bays in it. And we just worked out of there, and it's been there ever since.
That actually kind of leads into another question I have for you. So, would you ever consider down the line getting back into racing in some form?
Yeah, I've thought about it, but I'll just have to see where life takes me because, I mean, I definitely think it would be fun and I'd like to do it, but I'll just have to see where it takes me.
Ryleigh, what's your goals and your plans for the year for derbies and enduros?
I'd like to do the Knox Enduro. I still have my car that I ran at Knox, Tri-City, and Mercer. That's still good. So I would like to maybe try one more time at Knox and see if it's still alive after. And then I would like to do the Stoneboro Fair Derby in like Labor Day weekend. That's for sure. And then other than that, whatever, if they have an extra car or something, I would like to run again maybe. If Brayden allows me. He's the boss.
Yeah, we'll see.
Ryleigh, how did you get into doing derby and enduro stuff?
Well, what was the first enduro that you guys did?
Mercer, all of us together.
Yeah. I went to enduros before, but it was Chase, Sean, our Uncle Lee, Uncle Terry, and Brayden,
And
Mike all did the enduro at Mercer, and I don't know, it looked fun, so I was kind of interested in it. But I really got interested once Brayden started doing derbies. I liked going to them, and I thought maybe I could do it. And after the first one that I did, I am more into it than I am enduros. I think I got 6 out of 26 cars at the Stoneboro Fair. And I don't know. I just really enjoyed doing it.
The car that Ryleigh ran at the Stoneboro Fair, we took it home, and then I had an HHR that we bought. And me and Keaton spent all night stripping that HHR out because the Stoneboro Fair is a 2-night show. So we spent all night stripping the HHR out and trying to fix Ryleigh's car. And Keaton ended up fixing Ryleigh's car to take it the next day. And I took the HHR the next day. And we both ended up running the most wanted fine arts class, which is like a completely stock, run whatever you bring.
The car that I drove in high school, it was my first ever vehicle when I turned 16. So
Yeah.
when it was dead, we stripped it and then ran it at the Stoneboro Fair, and that was the first derby I ran.
As far as the cars go, so so do they have to be could you go into the specifications a little bit as far I'll start with derbies. What are some of the specifications and stuff and the requirements for a vehicle when you want to enter a derby?
So the compact classes, the stock compact and the built compact, bumper swap compacts, has to be a front wheel drive car. And it's pretty much like a compact car, like any Chevy Impala, Toyota Camry, Corolla. That's what most people are looking for, is the Luminas, most GM style cars. And then you get into the full size car is the V8s, when people are putting small block 350s in the Crown Vics. They mostly prefer 1998 to 2002 Crown Vics for the full size class, and then they pretty much build it up. And a lot of the older V8 wagons and stuff like that are ran in the full size class. And then the most wanted fine arts class, you can pretty much bring an SUV, a Crown Vic, any compact car, pretty much anything you can bring for the most wanted fine arts class.
Now, as with enduros, a lot of times you see guys rolling the things out of caves and such to run these enduros. So how does that vary from the derby side of it as far as specifications, requirements, stuff like that?
So for the enduros, it's any front wheel drive 4 or 6-cylinder most of the time. And then you have to have a roll cage and everything in it, a 4-point harness, 5-point harness, whatever. You have to have a harness. And it's pretty much 100 laps. Dude.
We might have to take 5 here. I don't know.
All right, guys, we're back. We had to take a 5-minute little pause there, but we're back.
Yeah, had some technical difficulties there, but we're gonna jump back into it. I got a question for Ryleigh. Ryleigh, who is your role model, would you say?
Probably my dad. My dad has raced cars and done derbies since he was Brayden's age, and he always is there to help us no matter what, if it's with or without derby cars or enduro cars or whatever we're doing. He's always there. And anytime we're in the garage, I know I think doing the derbies and the enduros, it's brought in me and Brayden closer, and me and my dad even closer, even though sometimes we all fight, but it brings us closer.
And I have one more question for Brayden, and that is, kind of more of an in-depth question, but you were talking about like more of the in-depth stuff about the derbies and the specific cars and everything like that. But derby as a whole, as a sport, do you like the direction that it's kind of headed, where it's at right now, and kind of, what's your opinion on the direction that it's going? You know what I mean?
So, to be honest with you, I don't like the direction that it's going because they're starting to get more expensive. Everyone's trying to buy certain cars, and everyone, like, for a no motor, no nothing, and a Toyota Camry is like $1,200 right now, which is insane. And people are asking that because they know someone will go out there and pay it. And everything's getting more expensive, but to also bring into the fact that they're bringing more stock classes, and those are getting more love than the other classes now, which is nice for like us because we like to run more of the stock shows and like not put a bunch of time into these builds because we don't always have the time to put into them. But like back when my dad used to derby, he said you could put $800 into a car and go out and be able to win with it. And now that's pretty hard to do,
Right.
but still possible.
And you said that Camry was $1,200, you said, with no motor?
Yeah, some of them, like some people are asking.
And that's a compact car. I mean, what are most compact classes to win? You know what I mean? What does the payout look like?
Don't pay that much. Like the little show that we have here, I think it's like 500 or something. But you do get into the big shows where it's like 10 grand to win. Like they had one last week down in I think it was Dunbar, PA, and it was 10,000 to win for a compact show.
So like something like that would definitely probably be worth if you were serious about it, obviously.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, Brayden, how would you actually, both of you, how would you guys feel about something similar to like Rush or Penn, Ohio and the racing side of things, something like that forming, in this area for derbies? I don't know if there is something like that, but derbies or enduro, something like that. Would that be something you'd be interested in?
Yeah, so actually there is like the Penn Ohio series has like the touring series that like you go and race all the time. And that's pretty much what it's like around here is you have hardcore derby promotions, which runs like Dunbar. They run the fall show for Stoneboro, and they run a lot. And then this new people that are coming in, I think they started last year or the year before. It's called Total Chaos Motorsports or something like that. They have GSP, which is another, they like to run Venango. So it's just like you have those promoters.
Bodies and promoters, yeah.
Yeah. I actually have one more question. I have one more individual question. This one's for Ryleigh. So Ryleigh, we asked Brayden about, his background in racing, and we asked if he'd ever consider getting back into it. Would you ever consider getting into racing in some form?
Ooh, I don't know if I would do that. I don't think I would like it as much. And I don't think I would enjoy it as much as I do Brayden. I have whenever they did the crew races after, I think it was Sharon or something. They do those every once in a while. I wanted to. I think that would be fun. But I think racing would be way too much for me.
You wouldn't want us to get you a mini stock?
No.
Mm-mm. She's a bad driver on the road, let alone off the road.
I am a good driver on the road.
Last thing I have to wrap it up would be just shout out anyone you guys want to thank, people, sponsors, anybody. Just go ahead.
So we want to thank our dad for everything he does for us. Our mom and Sean, they sponsor us a lot. Christy Axe Corner, the gas station in Sandy Lake, they sponsor us. Churchtown Gas out towards like Cochrane, they help out with like all of our well wire and stuff like that. Reese's Automotive, they help us out a ton. Garrett Guthrie, anything that I ask of him, he likes to come and help us, and he gives us some of his equipment to help. And can you think of anyone else? No.
Well, I thank you guys for coming on. It was cool having you guys on, talk about derbies and enduro a little bit. It was cool to hear some of that stuff. I really was not familiar, with a lot. I'm still pretty ignorant to the whole deal, but I definitely want to get out this summer. I want to come see you guys. So that'd be pretty cool. But thank you everybody for watching. If you made it this far, we apologize for any of the technical difficulties that are still left in. But needless to say, thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next Thursday.
Licking the dirt means when you're leaning in your go-kart and you're almost touching your head on the ground.